Are you due for a reset? Have you or your pets been struggling with allergies, arthritis, joint pain, feeling not at the top of your game? Feeling not at the top of your game? It might be time for a reset. What do you think?
I think yes to all the above. I think we all need a reset throughout the year anyway, right? So no matter how healthy you're eating or how healthy your pet is eating, I think we all are in need of a detox at least, right? And so once a year, maybe take a chance and identify ways that you can improve your diet, improve your pet's diet, improve their lifestyle. I think, why not?
Sure. Improve the amount of environmental toxins that are being thrown. So I think we could look at things from a few different viewpoints. Yeah. So one, obviously we can always improve what we're feeding.
Yes.
Even if you're feeding what you think is really, really good, there's always some little tweak that can be made.
The rabbit hole never ends.
The rabbit hole never ends is true. And, if you're still feeding highly processed food to yourself or to your pets, the first step could be just adding some sort of fresh, organic, really good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, making a swap is always a really good
Take away one bad
Take
thing.
away one and add one good thing.
Take away the Doritos and replace it with organic blueberries.
Or, I mean, if you think about it, right, you could even make your own, so I love onion rings. I don't eat onion rings because fried food is really not good for me. And of course, onions should never be around our dogs. So let's just put this aside. I'm just talking about humans here for a second. You can slice up like a white onion, put it on parchment paper and put like Parmesan cheese on top and bake that and get a similar crunchy onion ring that's good for you. So when I say swap, you don't necessarily have to give up the taste of what you love. You can just modify it in such a way that you are giving better nutrition while still kind of satisfying the craving that you have. Right?
Exactly.
Dogs are a little bit different. Obviously, we can, take out some of the kibble and add a little bit of fresh food, and that's going to be a nice swap. But it's harder for us humans because our brain plays a big role in what we eat.
Sure. I look at the dogs and I'm like, man, you have it so easy. Like whatever I give you is what you eat. And so it's up to me to make healthy choices for them. And then I walk in my pantry and I'm like, oh. So I don't crave sweets. I crave salt.
Okay.
So about 3:00 every afternoon, I'm like, I need my salt fix. And so I'm looking for that chip or that cracker or something that's just coated in salt. And I'm like, it would be a lot healthier if I would just go get the salt shaker and shake salt into my hand and just eat the salt without all the other stuff that goes with it, because it's really the salt that I'm looking for. Right. So a great substitute, especially in the summer when I have my beautiful big ripe tomatoes, just take a slice of tomato and coat that thing with salt. Oh my gosh, that's like such a healthy snack instead of a highly processed chip or cracker with seed oils and things that I shouldn't be eating. We can make those swaps. And for our animals, it's pretty easy to make the swaps because they're not the ones opening the cabinet and getting the food out.
And even if, for someone that doesn't want to swap out the food because they say their dog has a sensitive stomach, which I'm not denying, they might have a sensitive stomach, but that is the end result of other underlying issues. Look at their treats. Let's just start with their treats. Rather than giving them, a milk bone or a pepperoni or something, that's highly processed, that has artificial colorings and preservatives and maybe artificial flavors in there. Like, let's just go spend a few dollars more and get a treat that, if you can, is a single ingredient treat, because that would be great.
Yep.
Preferably protein-based, not vegetable based, or even just choosing, one that has 5 ingredients or less, right? So the swaps the swaps can be easy to make, and the changes that will make really big improvements in both your health and your dog's health can be the small changes, right?
Yeah.
Small changes lead to big results.
Exactly. We can change the diet. We can also look at the environment that our pets and we are living in. Plug-ins, candles that are poor quality, anything that is putting artificial scents. Oh my gosh, the sprays,
laundry
the
detergent,
sprays,
dryer sheets.
Yeah, all these things, carpet powders, anything that we're using in the home that is a synthetic or a chemical to change the environment, well, we could change that up and take away those chemical additives and look for something more natural or just get rid of it. I did a great summit. It was called Change the Air. And I was tasked with doing a talk on how indoor air quality affects our pets. I went down a rabbit hole for days with the research on that, and the chemicals accumulate so much more within the bodies of our pets. Like, the studies were amazing. And so you may be using diffusers or plugins in your home that you think, you know, just make everything smell good. And maybe you don't think it's making you feel worse. But so I had a client with a dog who had chronic nasal discharge, chronic eye discharge. The woman was a heavy smoker, and she wore a lot of heavy perfume and then used a lot of scents in the house to also cover up cigarette smell. And so this poor dog just literally was trying to wash that out of their eyes and their nasal passages with this chronic running. Sadly, the dog ended up with cancer in the sinuses. And it was just from being bombarded with those chemicals over years.
And then, you know, the particles, gravity is a thing, right?
Yeah.
So the particles come down to the ground, and then the dogs,
And where
it's
our
getting on their
dogs-
paws, it's where their noses are sniffing.
Yep.
So it is concentrated
Yeah.
in a place that we don't even think of.
And it accumulates even more in our cats because our cats spend so much more time grooming.
Yep.
And so they're laying on the furniture or the floors that have all these chemicals that have settled on them, and then they're grooming themselves.
And to that point, it's one of the reasons that I always take my shoes off, because you think about where we walk and what, I don't know, what job you may have. You might have a job that puts you in a position where you have to be around chemicals. That residue is on the bottom of your shoes. You walk through your house with your shoes, and that is a residue that is now getting imprinted onto the floor. And to your point with our cats and our dogs, they're going to be absorbing that through, you know, through the pads, but then as they lick and groom. So there are these little things that we can do that will have a big impact.
Yep. And then I think we need to look at the spiritual and mental part of our animals. That's a huge part of it too. So if you go to work all day, your pets are home alone, that's really stressful for them because they're kind of pack animals. They kind of, you know, we think cats are very solitary. Cats actually like interaction. They need that interaction. Indoor cats, in studies, over 80% of them are highly stressed. Like, their cortisol levels are high. They're not doing cat things. They're not climbing. They're not pouncing. They're not chasing. They don't have that interaction. So it's really critical for our cats. They need vertical space. You've got to provide something where they can climb. They need that outlet of hunting and pouncing and catching prey. Figure out whatever game you can play with them to simulate that if they're not going outside. I look at my outdoor cats and they just have this ideal life. They're hunting, pouncing, climbing all the time. And they don't need to hunt to get their nutrition, but they still hunt because that's part of what cats do.
Yes.
I can't imagine what my barn would look like without cats living in it, because I had a barn once where I moved the cats out, and the mice within a week I mean, you'd walk in the barn and there'd be thousands of mice scurrying everywhere. They just, it was awful. Barns need cats. So, and my outdoor cats are probably the healthiest animals on the farm because they are doing cat things that we don't allow our indoor cats to do. But even for our dogs, you know, that getting out, running, if you can give them off-leash time where they can really explore. I know that's not possible for everyone. That's where a really, really good high-end dog park could be very helpful if you live in a city.
They now have these programs where, like, it's an app that you can go on, and people that have fenced-in yards will rent out their backyard. Like, what a great outlet for a dog to be off leash with all the new scents and surroundings. Like, that's the best $25 you could spend for an hour if you really think about it, right? You don't have to worry, because there are so many reactive dogs, which we could go down the road of the gut cause of that, right? But there are so many reactive dogs that are out there. Like, having that safe space to let them be off leash would be, you know, monumental in helping to reduce the physiological toxin that stress is.
Yep. And stress is just a huge, huge part. So a few very simple ways to change your pet's life, your life. Get rid of that stress, improve the food, decrease the environmental toxins. Little changes can add up to huge changes in health and longevity.
Yes.
When I was in practice, my clients trusted that I would find the safest, best natural products for their pets and my patients. That's how I started Naturally Healthy Pets. I had a lot of clients who had to travel a long distance to get to my clinic, and when they needed refills, we needed a way to easily be able to have them order and get them shipped very quickly. So I started Naturally Healthy Pets in my garage. My husband Hugh would do fulfillment for me. All of the products that have been available on Naturally Healthy Pets over the years have been hand selected by me to be the most natural, human grade, best products for your pets that are actually going to help them with their health and longevity. If you like the content on my channel, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. The more subscribers we get, the more people we will reach, because the platform will push it out to more people. So hit like and subscribe.